which is not to say it can't go wrong. Hopefully, but I think it'll probably go right, and it'll be a future that you love.
The idea of a Tesla Model 2 with an estimated price between $15,000 and $20,000 has generated excitement across the world. But the biggest question isn't just how low the price can go. Smart buyers know that the real cost of owning a car isn't determined on the day they buy it. It's measured over years of driving, maintenance, and everyday use. That's where the Tesla Model 2 has the potential to stand apart. Instead of focusing only on an affordable purchase price, people are beginning to look at something even more important: how much the car will actually cost to own over time. That simple change in perspective completely transforms the conversation. Rather than chasing flashy headlines about a low sticker price, attention shifts toward long-term value. For families trying to make every dollar count, this could matter far more than luxury features or eye-catching technology. Tesla seems to recognize this better than ever. If the company delivers on its vision, the Model 2 could redefine what an affordable electric car truly means. For many years, buying a budget-friendly car usually meant accepting compromises. Drivers expected smaller engines, lower quality interiors, fewer comfort features, and limited performance because saving money often came at the expense of convenience and reliability. An inexpensive vehicle frequently ended up feeling like a constant trade-off. Tesla appears ready to challenge that traditional approach. Instead of cutting value, the company seems focused on removing unnecessary complexity. The goal isn't to build a stripped-down vehicle. It's to create a car that includes everything most drivers actually need while avoiding expensive features that add little to everyday life. Rather than asking customers to sacrifice comfort or dependability, Tesla may simply eliminate the hidden costs that have quietly increased vehicle ownership expenses for decades. That philosophy represents a fresh way of thinking about affordable transportation. If successful, this strategy could influence the entire automotive industry. The Model 2 would become more than just another low-cost electric vehicle. It could set a new standard for how entry-level cars are designed. When families shop for a new vehicle, they rarely think only about the monthly payment. They also worry about fuel costs, insurance, routine maintenance, tire replacements, unexpected repairs, and whether the vehicle will remain reliable for years to come. Over time, these ongoing expenses often add up to far more than the original purchase price. A car that seems affordable in the showroom can eventually become one of the biggest financial burdens in a household. Tesla's strategy appears to focus on reducing those long-term ownership costs rather than simply lowering the price tag. If that approach succeeds, it could completely change the ownership experience. Instead of worrying about surprise repair bills or expensive maintenance visits, drivers may enjoy a vehicle that is both dependable and predictable. In many ways, knowing what your transportation will cost each year can be just as valuable as having premium features. For millions of families, that kind of financial confidence could be worth far more than luxury options. Traditional gasoline-powered vehicles rely on thousands of moving parts working together every time the engine starts. Pistons move at high speeds, oil constantly circulates through the engine, transmissions shift gears, exhaust systems handle extreme temperatures, and countless mechanical components gradually wear out. Eventually, many of those parts require maintenance, repairs, or complete replacement. These costs are simply part of owning a conventional vehicle. Electric vehicles operate much differently. Because they eliminate many of those complex mechanical systems, they naturally require less maintenance. There are no oil changes, no exhaust systems, no traditional transmission, and far fewer engine-related components that can wear out over time. Tesla has built much of its reputation around this mechanical simplicity. If the Model 2 follows the same engineering philosophy as the company's other vehicles, owners could enjoy years of reliable transportation with significantly fewer service appointments. Fewer moving parts generally mean fewer things that can break. That simplicity could become one of the Model 2's biggest advantages, helping owners save money throughout the life of the vehicle. Interestingly, one of the Model 2's greatest strengths may come from what it leaves out rather than what it adds. Many modern cars are packed with features designed to impress customers during a brief test drive instead of making everyday driving better. Premium lighting systems, excessive electronic controls, decorative interior materials, and complicated convenience features often increase manufacturing costs while offering very little practical benefit in daily use. Tesla appears to be taking a different path. Instead of filling the vehicle with expensive extras, the company seems focused on delivering the features that matter most while keeping the overall design clean, efficient, and affordable. If that balance is achieved, the Model 2 could prove that an affordable car doesn't have to feel cheap. Instead, it could offer exactly what most drivers want: a dependable, efficient, and practical vehicle that keeps ownership costs low without sacrificing the overall driving experience. Tesla appears ready to eliminate many of the features that add cost without providing much everyday value. By focusing on the functions people actually use during their daily drives, the company could create a vehicle that feels simpler, more practical, and far more affordable. Fewer electronic systems also mean fewer parts that could fail over time, helping improve long-term reliability. This minimalist approach is likely to appeal to buyers who value dependable transportation over unnecessary luxury. In many ways, doing less could actually achieve more. The battery is the heart of every electric vehicle. It plays a major role in determining driving range, performance, efficiency, manufacturing costs, and the overall cost of ownership. According to current reports, the Tesla Model 2 is expected to feature a battery pack with a capacity of around 53 to 55 kilowatt hours. At first, that may seem relatively small when compared with larger electric SUVs equipped with massive battery packs. However, this doesn't appear to be a cost-cutting decision. Instead, it seems to reflect Tesla's focus on smart engineering. A battery of this size could provide more than enough range for most daily driving, while avoiding the added cost, extra weight, and unnecessary complexity that come with much larger battery packs. This approach shows a clear understanding of how people actually use their vehicles. Rather than chasing record-breaking range figures, Tesla appears to be designing the Model 2 around real-world needs. That practical mindset could become one of the car's strongest advantages. Many buyers naturally assume that a longer driving range always makes an electric vehicle better. While impressive numbers certainly attract attention, they don't always match everyday driving habits. Most drivers travel only a small portion of an electric vehicle's available range during a typical day. Carrying a huge battery every time you drive, simply to prepare for the occasional long-distance trip, may not be the most practical or cost-effective solution. Larger battery packs don't just cost more to build. They also add significant weight, increase charging times, and place greater stress on various vehicle components over the long term. Tesla appears to understand that true efficiency isn't about offering the biggest battery possible. Instead, it's about providing the right amount of range for the vast majority of drivers. By striking that balance, the Model 2 could reduce ownership costs without compromising everyday usability. Sometimes, the smartest engineering decision is knowing when enough is truly enough. A lighter vehicle offers benefits that extend well beyond energy efficiency. Every pound removed from the car reduces the workload on essential components such as the tires, brakes, suspension, steering system, and even the vehicle's structure. Over years of driving, these reductions in stress can help minimize wear and lower maintenance costs. Owners may enjoy longer-lasting tires, more consistent braking performance, and fewer suspension-related repairs throughout the life of the vehicle. Lower weight also improves the driving experience by making the car feel more agile, responsive, and easier to maneuver in everyday traffic. Tesla has long recognized that reducing vehicle weight creates benefits across nearly every system. Rather than relying only on larger batteries or more powerful motors, the company appears to focus on intelligent engineering that improves efficiency from every angle. This thoughtful approach quietly delivers value every time the car is driven. Managing heat is one of the biggest engineering challenges in every electric vehicle. Batteries naturally generate heat while charging, accelerating, and operating for extended periods. If that heat isn't properly controlled, it can affect charging speed, battery health, and long-term durability. By equipping the Model 2 with a reasonably sized battery, Tesla may also reduce the amount of heat the system needs to manage. Lower thermal demands could help preserve battery performance for many years, while placing less strain on the cooling system. A simpler thermal management system may also reduce production costs and improve overall reliability by using fewer complex components. These aren't the kinds of features that usually appear in eye-catching advertisements, but they can make a significant difference over the life of the vehicle. The smartest engineering decisions often happen behind the scenes, where customers rarely notice them until they begin saving money on maintenance and repairs. Everything about the Tesla Model 2 suggests a design philosophy centered on practical value rather than unnecessary excess. Instead of chasing impressive specifications simply for marketing purposes, Tesla appears focused on creating a vehicle that delivers lasting affordability, dependable performance, and a more cost-effective ownership experience. Instead of trying to compete through luxury features or eye-catching performance figures, Tesla appears to be taking a different path with the Model 2. The goal seems to be simple: provide reliable, practical transportation at a price that everyday families can comfortably afford. Nearly every design choice appears focused on lowering long-term ownership costs while still delivering the features people actually need in their daily lives. If Tesla can successfully combine an affordable purchase price with lower maintenance costs, efficient battery technology, and smarter manufacturing, the Model 2 could become one of the company's most significant vehicles to date. It has the potential to change how people define an affordable electric car, which is exactly why so many drivers continue to follow its development with such interest. One of the biggest misconceptions about electric vehicles is the belief that more driving range always means better value. On paper, a car capable of traveling 350 miles on a single charge certainly sounds more impressive than one offering 250 or 300 miles. But achieving that extra range comes with trade-offs. A larger battery requires more raw materials, a more advanced cooling system, stronger structural support, and higher production costs. All of those factors eventually increase the vehicle's selling price. Tesla appears to recognize that most drivers simply don't need an oversized battery for their everyday routine. Rather than designing the Model 2 for rare long-distance journeys, the company seems to be focusing on the driving patterns that most people experience every day. Think about a typical week for the average driver. Daily travel usually includes commuting to work, dropping children off at school, shopping for groceries, visiting family or friends, and running errands around town. Very few of these trips come close to using the full driving range available in today's electric vehicles. Yet many buyers still pay for battery capacity they may never fully use. Tesla seems determined to challenge that way of thinking by designing the Model 2 around realistic driving habits instead of occasional road trips. Rather than selling unnecessary capability, the company appears focused on delivering exactly what most drivers genuinely need. That practical approach could become one of the Model 2's biggest strengths. Sometimes understanding how people actually live is more valuable than chasing the highest numbers on a specification sheet. Vehicle weight also plays a major role in long-term performance and ownership costs. A heavier vehicle consumes more energy, places greater stress on its tires, requires stronger suspension components, and demands more from the braking system. While those differences may not seem noticeable during the first few months of ownership, they gradually add to maintenance costs over the years. By using a smaller and more efficient battery pack, Tesla could significantly reduce the overall weight of the Model 2. A lighter vehicle would not only improve energy efficiency, but also reduce wear on many key components. Owners could benefit from tires that last longer, smoother braking, better handling, and fewer maintenance expenses throughout the life of the vehicle. These savings may be difficult to notice on a day-to-day basis, but they can add up substantially over time. For many buyers, those long-term financial benefits could become one of the strongest reasons to choose the Model 2. Another important factor that often goes unnoticed is thermal efficiency. Every electric vehicle battery generates heat while charging and during normal operation. Controlling that heat requires carefully designed cooling systems that help maintain performance and protect the battery over time. Larger battery packs naturally create greater thermal challenges because they contain more individual cells producing heat simultaneously. By choosing a battery that's sized for everyday practicality instead of maximum range, Tesla may also simplify the vehicle's cooling system. Lower heat generation can help improve charging consistency, reduce long-term battery wear, and enhance overall reliability. Most owners may never directly notice these engineering choices, but they are likely to experience the benefits through fewer maintenance concerns, more consistent performance, and a battery that remains healthier for longer. The best engineering often works quietly in the background. It isn't always visible, but it makes a noticeable difference throughout years of ownership. The Tesla Model 2 could become one of the clearest examples of that philosophy. Perhaps the most remarkable innovation behind the Model 2 won't be found inside the vehicle at all. Instead, it may begin on the factory floor where the car is built. Tesla has spent years developing entirely new manufacturing techniques designed to simplify production while significantly reducing costs. Traditional automobile factories rely on lengthy assembly lines where thousands of individual components are installed through dozens of separate manufacturing stages. Every additional production step requires more labor, more equipment, more inspections, and more time before the finished vehicle is ready for delivery. Tesla appears to be rethinking that entire process. By simplifying manufacturing itself, the company could lower production costs while improving efficiency, making it easier to build an affordable electric vehicle without compromising overall quality. Tesla believes there's a smarter and more efficient way to build cars. Instead of relying on traditional manufacturing methods, the company is redesigning the entire assembly process from the ground up, with the goal of eliminating unnecessary complexity. If successful, this new approach could be just as groundbreaking as the Model 2 itself. One of the most talked about innovations is Tesla's unboxed assembly process. Rather than building the entire vehicle on one long, continuous production line, different sections of the car can be assembled separately at the same time. These sections are then brought together later in the manufacturing process. This allows multiple teams to work simultaneously instead of waiting for one stage of production to be completed before the next can begin. The result is a faster, more efficient factory capable of producing more vehicles while using fewer resources. Shorter production times help reduce labor costs, improve factory efficiency, and increase overall productivity. Just as importantly, this manufacturing system can be expanded more easily as demand grows. If Tesla successfully brings this process to the Model 2, the savings achieved during production could be passed directly to customers through a significantly lower purchase price. In many ways, the biggest breakthrough may not come from the vehicle itself, but from the way it's built. Another major innovation expected to play a key role is gigacasting, one of Tesla's most ambitious manufacturing technologies. Traditionally, building a vehicle requires welding together dozens of separate metal parts to create the main structure. Gigacasting changes that process completely. Using enormous high-pressure casting machines, Tesla can produce large structural sections of the vehicle as single, solid pieces instead of assembling them from many smaller components. This dramatically reduces the total number of parts needed to build the car. Fewer components mean fewer welds, fewer assembly steps, fewer alignment challenges, and lower production costs. It also creates a stronger and more rigid vehicle structure while making the manufacturing process faster and more efficient. Most drivers never think about how many individual parts make up the car beneath them, but these engineering decisions have a major impact on both quality and affordability. Tesla continues investing heavily in manufacturing innovations like gigacasting because every simplified production step helps reduce costs. Those savings can improve production efficiency while also making electric vehicles more affordable for customers. The Model 2 may benefit from these manufacturing breakthroughs more than any Tesla before it, and the advantages don't stop at the factory. Reducing the number of parts inside a vehicle can also improve reliability, simplify repairs, and lower long-term ownership costs, making the benefits of smarter engineering last well beyond the day the car leaves the production line.